Therefore, since you arrived in the mission area, your level of professionalism is no doubt in high gears, as we have seen since the first truck arrived. We have seen some medals hung around you, and then also we can still see more medals with some of the soldiers, and of course a trophy.
The medals and trophy, according to the contingent commander, Lieutenant Colonel Savage, are as a result of the various sporting disciplines his men took part in, with both the civilians in Darfur and other peacekeeping contingents, aimed at encouraging the spirit of peace and camaraderie.
The only thing we did is to fly the flag higher than it was, because we took over from Gamco 11. We moved from where they stopped. It's the same thing as you know, we are the headquarters, the forces headquarters company. So we are charged with securing the forces headquarters, which we did, where you have all the high echelon of the mission. So it's a daunting task anyway, but I must really commend my boys for a job well done, and for the inspiration they have, and knowing that the Gambia is bigger than all of us. So I think we've done our best, and we leave the rest to the Almighty Allah.
The Gambia Armed Forces peacekeeping missions, according to officials, have been accredited since inception with discipline and commitment to duty. And this, the contingent commander said, is in continuity.
With the help of the Almighty Allah, I was able to do my best, and with the help of my officers and men under me, knowing that we are there to represent the country, we are ambassadors of the Gambia, all of them put that in the back of their mind. With that inspiration, we are able to work as a team and then achieve our aim, which is to perform well in the international scene, as Gambians are known for, and then come back home safely. The most important thing is to come back in one piece and then ensure that the flag is flying as high as possible.
Lieutenant Mane was the platoon commander of Gamkoi 12.
The Gambian Army is well noted for its discipline as a disciplinary force. And anywhere we go, we don't lose that fact that we maintain. And I can assure you that discipline during the 7-month tough period in Darfur was quite there, and everything was okay. We don't have much problem with that.
Maria Maso was among the 7 female soldiers of the Gamkoi 12. She told the state broadcaster that she and her fellow female soldiers were equal to the task in Darfur as they battled it out in executing their peacekeeping duties that won the Gambia the admiration from the high echelons of the mission. The 7-month daunting task of peacekeeping in war-torn Darfur may be over for these men and women of the Gambia Armed Forces, but that should not make them rest on their laurels. For the mandate of protecting the country's sovereignty and maintaining peace and order in the country is one thing that will have to continue. Aissatou Badiane Sarr, GRTS.
You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, which is at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. Or we go with our first break now. We'll be right back.
sama caameñ gëj a gisee
jigéen sama yow moom gëj naa laa gis yow bii rafet na bii kañ la nii rap ak jàmm waay mbaa insurance nga ko kay
may ma sama jàmm yow insurance dañuy fay
déedéet Gambia National Insurance Company ca Kairaba ñu bokkuñ ci ñooñu de
ñooy ñooy ñaan
lu weesu fanweeri at ak juróom-ñaar ñu ngi ci biir réew mi di ñu aar suñu wàllu moto yi kër yi yoon yi tukki yi sa xaalis sax dañ koy aar
déedéet xanaa
waaw ñu wóor lañ nag te mun seen liggéey seen teewaay ci biir réew mi yokk na fi kóolute de
loolu de neex naa dégg
gis nga bi ci gën a tee neex nag ñoo gaaw a fay yàqu-yàqu dañuy fay yàqu-yàqu ci num gaawee boo eboo daal dawal dem insho yi
kon xaaral ma dem fagaru
defal gaaw moo gën faju
jërëjëf suma caam
jërëjëf bii moom da nga ko war a insho waay rap ak jàmm waay
Gambia National Insurance Company seet si leen ñu tey pour seen bépp wàllu insurance.
To the news from beyond our borders, violent clashes erupted on Friday between security forces and demonstrators at Cairo's Tahrir Square. At least 8 people were reported killed and 300 others injured. The crackdown follows an outbreak of fire at Egypt's upper house of parliament. The Prime Minister, Kamal El-Ganzouri, described the violence as an attack on the revolution. Meanwhile, demonstrators are urging the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces to hand over authority to a civilian government. We have more on the CFR report.
Demonstrators and security forces in Cairo on Friday night resulted in the deaths of at least 8 civilians with more than 300 others injured. Soldiers then stormed into Tahrir Square on Saturday, beating protesters following the eruption of a fire in the area around Egypt's upper house of parliament. Egypt's Prime Minister Kamal al-Ganzouri addressed the violence in a news conference on Saturday, saying the fighting was an attack on the country's revolution. I am calling on all the political groups and all sectors of civil society. Egypt is in your hands. What is taking place on the streets today is not a revolution. It is a counter-revolution. The clashes came at the same time that Egypt is holding legislative elections in 3 phases that have been largely dominated by 2 Islamist parties, the Muslim Brotherhood and the Salafists. Protesters have been occupying the area in and around Tahrir Square for more than 2 weeks, preventing Ganzouri and his cabinet from meeting there. They are demanding that the country's Supreme Council of the Armed Forces immediately cede authority to a civilian government.
The U.S. Defense Secretary is visiting Libya to gather information on the needs of the fledgling government. Leon Panetta's visit comes hours after the European Union and U.S. lifted sanctions on the war-torn country, and an Italian humanitarian worker captured in Darfur last August has finally been freed by his captors. The identity of the kidnapper still remains unknown. We have more on these and other stories in this roundup of news.
Panetta in Libya this morning. The American Defense Secretary is the second high-level U.S. official to visit Tripoli after Hillary Clinton. He is there to find out the needs of the new Libyan government. His visit comes only several hours after the lifting of sanctions on Libya by the European Union and the United Nations. Francesco Azzara in Khartoum and free. The Italian humanitarian worker was kidnapped in Darfur last August. He was freed Friday by the Sudan security forces, who denied receiving ransom payment. The motive for the kidnapping and the identity of the kidnappers still remains unknown. Not enough charges against Calix Mbarushimana, said judges of the International Criminal Court Friday, and ordered that the leader of the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda be freed from prison at The Hague. The International Criminal Court prosecutor, who holds Calix Mbarushimana responsible for war crimes and crimes against humanity, has asked for the order to be suspended and announced he will be appealing the decision. Eto'o suspended for 15 matches, a decision of the Cameroon Federation of Football against the captain of the Dauntless Lions. Samuel Eto'o is sanctioned after his players went on strike on the 15th of November following a disagreement about individual bonuses. The strike meant the friendly against Algeria had to be cancelled.
Over to sports. A week-long female football festival organized by Gambian National Olympic Committee in partnership with the Olympic Solidarity has kicked off. The Women in Sports Festival has its theme centered on promoting women and girls in football. Our Babakar Sangor has more on the opening day of the seminar.
Olympic Committee's year-ending activities centered on a subject that has become a dominant feature of Gambian sports. Focus has now been placed on efforts to rapidly improve female participation in football, and support for this endeavor is coming from different corners.
Team sports are great exercises for developing team building skills, and time again we discuss during our meetings that team effort is a great thing to be practiced at an early stage.
The GNOC and the Olympic Solidarity's week-long female football festival will help aspiring female football participants learn both theoretical and practical lessons.
This year's festival is particularly focusing on the theme promoting women and girls in football. This year's festival, we hope, will create awareness on the importance of mainstreaming women and girls in football by exposing their talents. This we have already seen. We are today hoping to hear your voices.
Some of the steps taken by the Gambia Football Association in the development of the female game includes institutional capacity building among female football coaches and players. These steps have been complemented by the preparation of a national female football team.
With the 5-star performance of Army volunteers, I strongly believe